sa tanan ng mga tuig sa mga Katoliko. Mutik pa sila.
Led by our military host, Colonel Orlando D. Ebrahim, our guest of honor, Senator Franklin M. Drilon.
Mayor Rigo.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Senator Franklin M. Drilon will listen to the welcome message of the Honorable Mayor of the Municipality of Santa Barbara, Honorable Bernas Digital.
Senator Franklin M. Drilon, Governor Arthur Defensor Jr., Honorable Congressman 𝗕𝗗𝗏𝙀𝙁, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule just to be with us in this momentous event. To our men in uniform, members of the academy, teachers and students, municipal mayors from the 2nd District, LGU elected officials, fellow public servants, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a true pleasure for me as your mayor to welcome you all to the 2019 121st Mayroon 121st Pride Santa Barbara outside Luzon in 1898. This is also the festival that made Santa Barbara the seat of revolution in the Visayas and Mindanao of the Ejército Libertador. Thus, this celebration today is a tribute to those men and women who bravely fought and even died to earn the freedom we are enjoying now. And it is important that we should understand this freedom is hard-won freedom. Such, it must be preserved at all costs. At present times, let's all together take the challenge by making our younger generation understand that we can do service to our community in more ways than one. We don't necessarily become a soldier to fight in the battlefield to be called the sons and daughters of a hero, too. To be celebrating a part of this occasion to all of you. May we enjoy collecting the memories and acknowledging the great contribution in the freedom movement to loving people. Madaming din na salamat at maayong aga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor 𝗕𝗏𝙂𝙧𝙀. And now, let's listen to the message of the Honorable Congressman 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝙀𝙀,
Governor Arthur D. Defensor Jr., Vice Governor Christine Garin, Honorable Rolito Cahilig, our board member June Mondihar, the Sangguniang Bayan members, the officials, headed by, of course, our Vice Mayor Jeffrey Mugilla, mayors coming from the 2nd District, Colonel Orlando Edralin, our tourism officers, to the members of the Delgado clan, guests from national agencies, civic organizations. Workers, I'm very grateful. 3 years ago, Senator Drilon was spearhead and very instrumental in bringing no less than the President, former President Benigno Aquino, in this historic place. He is also instrumental in the repairs and the reconstructing of our centennial-old church na magpadayon ang aton suporta. Bulig, of course, sa aton pinalangga na Senador Franklin M. Drilon sa damo niya gindalang proyekto, kag also sa aton pinalangga na Governor Arthur Defensor Jr. Modern days, nakabay pa mahinhilway na kita sa tanan na klase ng opresyon kay sa atong ginaagom, kinaluyan na ang tunon this day. Salamat, congratulations, Mayor Rema Somo, for this weekly celebration. I know it's very successful. Nakita ko ang inyo ng mga events. I commend you being a 4 months mayor pa lang for this historical event. Vice Mayor Jeff Zambilla, and of course to the rest of the Sangguniang Bayan members in the organizing committee of this year's 𝗕𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗀 2019 Festival. Mabuhay ang Santa Barbara, mabuhay ang Segundo Distrito. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Congressman Michael B. Goriseta, Representative, 2nd District of Iloilo, Province of Iloilo. Honorable Arthur R. Defensor Jr.
The pride of Iloilo in the Congress of the Republic of the Philippines, and our minority leader in the Senate, Mayor Bernas Digital,
Naman ko namin, tsura na.
Congressman Mike Goriseta, ang atong sangguniang bayan, headed by Vice Mayor 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗡𝗅, Board Member 𝗕𝗏𝗂𝗃, Board Member 𝗬𝗏𝗏, for all the developments and big ticket projects that we are seeing in Iloilo today. Among these, we have the Iloilo River Esplanade, the beautiful 10-lane highway we call the Senator Benigno Aquino Jr. Avenue. Aton sangguniang ng kalapad-lapad na irrigated land, water for domestic consumption, and water for electricity. He led the restoration and preservation of key heritage sites in the city, such as the beautiful Sunburst Public Park, 1,600 classrooms nationwide in partnership with the Federation of Philippine Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry. A son of Iloilo, our speaker graduated from the Baluarte Elementary School in 1957 and a high school at UP Iloilo College in 1961. In the 1969 bar examination. In 2014, ginuna ko binibasa sa iyo kung ano ka klase sa tao, ano ka klase na alagad sa balo ang ating guest honor. By your Martin Delgado, convene here in this flagpole to establish the government in the province of Iloilo that will face the Spanish government. It's not a cry of revolution only, but the cry of Santa Barbara is a cry of victory. Ang gindaw, ang ginpangapudaya sa aton mga puluhan, ginapangnan sa inyong Martin Delgado, nga kahiwayan para sa Santa Barbara, para sa national peace. So the victory that your Martin Delgado won is not only freedom for its own sake, but freedom which is really a democratic space so that we can decide for ourselves on where to lead the Filipino nation. Now, and the yardstick by which we judge ourselves as we inspired by Martin Delgado in the Congress of the Republic of the Philippines, Minority Leader Franklin M. Dillon.
Please take your seats. Governor Arthur Defensor Jr., palakpakan natin si President. My inaanak, I feel so old because my inaanak is now the Congressman of the 2nd District, a proud representative of the 2nd District, Congressman Michael Goriseta. Mayor Bernas Digital, our Municipal Mayor, our military host, Colonel Orlando Ebrey, good morning, sir. Members of the Sangguniang Bayan, fellow workers in government, ang ating mga veterano, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Delgado family, maayong aga sa inyo na po. Unang nagpasalamat ako kay Mayor Somo for her invitation to be your guest at today's celebration. Thank you again, Mayor Somo, because on your first opportunity to celebrate the cry of Santa Barbara, I was your first guest. Thank you very much. before. And do you know that this is the first time I am invited as a guest here in Santa Barbara? It had to take Mayor Soma to give me the honor to be facing the people of Santa Barbara. Madamo yung kasalanan. Over 4 years ago, on the 12th of June, 1995, upon my request, the Philippine Independence Day was celebrated here in the town of Santa Barbara. That was the first time it happened in the Visayas and the first significant celebration of Independence Day outside of Manila. There was one in Basilan, but they had the Independence Day on a Navy boat because of the peace and order. And it was the first time 4 years ago, on June the 12th, that upon my request, President Aquino agreed to recognize the contribution of Santa Barbara in the drive for independence by the Filipino people. Because it was on November 17, 1898, right here in Santa Barbara, that the Philippine flag was first raised in the Visayas and for the first time outside of Luzon. It was also the day when General Martin Teofilo Delgado, locally known as Tan Martin, organized and inaugurated the Provisional Revolutionary Government of the Visayas. Along with the Ilonggo revolutionaries, they stood in solidarity with General Emilio Aguinaldo and the revolutionaries of Cavite who raised the Philippine flag in Luzon earlier that year. And while I'm having mentioned General Delgado, let me tell you a little episode. In the 𝙧𝙧𝙧 Business Center today is a statue of General Martin Delgado. It is a statue of a general on his horse. And the way it was crafted and sculptured showed the dynamism and the strength and the character of General Delgado. They know that it was the owner himself, Dr. Andrew Tan, who chose Martin Delgado to be the model of that statue now in the 𝙧𝙧𝙧 Business Center, because he recognized the role that General Delgado played in our struggle for independence. This historic uprising of the Santa Barbaranos against the Spanish oppressors became the ultimate cry of victory and freedom of the Ilonggos and made Santa Barbara the cradle of the Philippine Revolution outside of Luzon. Today, we commemorate the indubitable spirit of the Ilonggos and pay tribute to our forefathers and great leaders who bravely fought and sacrificed their lives to earn the freedom we enjoy today. Therefore, today, we renew our commitment to honor their legacy and uphold the values they stood for. But our fight for freedom should not stop. Let me share with you a quote from Mr. Nelson Mandela, the freedom fighter in South Africa, when he once said, quote, "Freedom is meaningless if people cannot put food in their stomachs, if they can have no shelter, if illiteracy and disease continue to dog them." Governor Defensor enumerated some of my contributions to the province of Iloilo. If I did all of that in my public life, it is because in my firm belief, freedom is meaningless kung imol kita. Freedom will mean nothing to our people unless they can improve their lives, we can provide them with better livelihood and a better Iloilo to live with. That is why our fight for freedom should be ongoing effort, because freedom lies not only in the freedom, democratic freedom that we understand, but economic freedom and equality. And we should be able to ensure that the basic needs of our people are concerned. Because when about 10 years ago, as I was looking at our province, I realized that while we have gained our independence, we have been waging another battle, the battle against economic insignificance. The Ilonggos have been yearning for liberation from socio-cultural deterioration. Our independence requires a fair share of responsibility to be able to produce a prosperous society. We have to come up with programs on how we can maintain the well-being of our people. We have to provide them with job opportunities, and this can only be done if we create an environment that is conducive to investment, to providing better lives to our people. More investments mean more jobs. More jobs mean less poverty. Less poverty means more freedom to our people. And so, as I said, it was in 2011 that I started to embark on a development program that will uplift the lives of our people. In about 3 years' time, the single biggest infrastructure in the history of Iloilo that will uplift the lives of 25,000 farmer families will be finished. And that is the 𝗕𝗗𝗏𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗏 purpose now. 25,000 farmer families na imol, na halos hand-to-mouth existence. We will be able to double their incomes and have a higher yield for their rice lands. That is the key to uplifting them from poverty and giving them a legacy of real freedom. This 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 would finish will irrigate 33,000 hectares out in the province of Iloilo, making us once more reclaim that tag as the rice granary of the Philippines. We will produce over 300,000 metric tons of rice, of palay, from the present 140,000, and provide 86,000 cubic liters of water every day. Sa Manila, sa periodiko, nabasa ninyo, gaaway kami adlaw-adlaw sa bawang sa tubig. Diri iya ipos lang kita. Pero ang aton nga tubig sigurado na kay may ayo at the supply, marinak pati diri sa Santa Barbara. This is the kind of economic freedom that I would like to leave behind to my Kasimanawa when I leave and retire from public service 3 years from now. Because I value and I really would be very happy to see our people gain freedom from the bondage of poverty. Because I would repeat, freedom is meaningless. Political freedom is meaningless unless we can provide a better life to our people here in Iloilo. I am glad that I'm able I was given this opportunity by the Lord to be able to serve our people. We have done quite a bit here. And here in the second district, in the Benigno Aquino Avenue, next month, on January 1, we will be putting 2 overpasses costing hundreds of millions of pesos in order to ease the traffic along Benigno Aquino Avenue and provide a better environment for doing business and investment in Iloilo. During its construction, it will provide jobs to our people, and once that is finished, we can look forward to a better business environment that will attract investors to come to Iloilo and provide jobs for our people. That is the kind of freedom that I would like to see when I retire from public service. We have cited earlier the 𝙪𝙤𝙧𝙞 Dam. It is well on its way to its completion. As of September, nearly 1/4 of the dam has already been finished. And we look forward to having it finished on time in 2022. Moreover, just last month, I led the official launching of a tourism project, and this is called the Meetings, Incentive, Conferences, and Exhibitions, or MICE campaign. What is this? This is a coordinated effort by both private and public sector to promote our tourism industry here in the city. Governor Art has enumerated some of the projects that we have done in order to project the city and the province as a tourist destination. And Santa Barbara should be cited as one of the historical destinations for tourists, given the development, given its history. We should be able to project Santa Barbara more as a historical destination for tourists in Iloilo. And I commit to you, Mr. Madam Mayor, I will be there to make sure that Santa Barbara is projected together with the other historical and cultural sites in the country. And Iloilo, particularly 𝗕𝗑𝗥𝗡𝗢, particularly our Esplanade, so that, again, this would equate to jobs for people and economic freedom for everyone. We are also working on the privatization of our Iloilo port, because, again, if there is any stumbling block to our being able to develop faster, it is because of the lack of port facilities. Sufficient port facilities. Let us make Iloilo an international port so that we can attract investments, we can have a better logistics network, and make our province an attractive investment destination. Yes, we have grown in terms of our economy here in Western Visayas. We have grown significantly over the past 5 years, but we cannot rest on these laurels. We have to continue struggling, and we have to make sure that the gains that we have made over the past 10 years will not go to waste. We have converted our province from a province of diminishing economic appeal now to an attractive investment generation. Next month, the biggest food factory in the country, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Garcia. San Miguel will be opening a brewery in Bernas with an investment of over 8 billion pesos. These are the projects that I have been working on, both for the public and private sector. And I am truly proud of what Iloilo is becoming. Iloilo is on the move, and with the support of our people, we will continue to promote and attract tourism and investments so that at the end of the day, we will be able to promote human development, the development of our people here. With unity and hard work, I have full faith and confidence that we can build not just a strong and prosperous Iloilo, but a leader in our country. Time and again, we have proven that it is through this unity that we can move forward and surpass any challenges that come our way. General Martin Delgado showed us the way in 1798. We should continue that journey so that one day when we all look back to where we have been, we can say if we have moved forward, if we have gained freedom for people here in Iloilo, it is because we are united and we all did our little share in moving Iloilo forward. With that, let me once more congratulate the mayor and the people of Santa Barbara for once more commemorating this cry of Santa Barbara, to remind not only the people of Santa Barbara, not only the Ilonggos, but the entire Filipino nation, that here in Santa Barbara, we did our share in regaining the freedom of our people and the independence of our country. With that, thank you very much once more for this opportunity that you have given me to speak to you this morning.
Sa liwa, atong palakpakan ang pinalangga sa mga Ilonggo, bugal sa Iloilo, the Senator Franklin M. Drilon. Sa pagpanguna ni Mayor Bernas Digital, pinalangga na Mayor ng Banwa, Vice Mayor Jeffrey Sombilia, kagkaimaw ko ng mga SB member, Honorable Isabela Makino, Honorable Rowena Sumagay-Saysal-Viderio, Honorable Francis Maravilla, of course, Honorable Monsig Soliano, the PCL President, the ex-official board member of the province of Iloilo. Siyempre, Honorable Christine Marie Delgado Robles, palakpakan na natin. And of course, Honorable Ramon Julius Sugusta, Honorable Tim Padilla, yours truly, Honorable Dennis Octaviano, our ABC President, Honorable Lord, sa mo ang pagkilala, pagtao, tunod, kang nahuwaran, kang gungganin nga Santa Barbara man. At ito igandyan na ginahimo to give honor to the 10 outstanding Santa Barbara homes. S. Tarol, please rise to be recognized for government service, Dr. Elvira P. Sinoro. In the field of sports, we have Coach Jean Santillan. In the field of entrepreneurship, the person behind ang manamit na batsoy sa Santa Barbara, Ma'am Hasmin Sobredo. In the field of medicine, we have Dr. Melvin Gregorio Boriseta Sumagaysay. General Martin Teofilo Delgado Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Dr. Manuel S. Sumaylo. Former SD member, Bonifacio P. Sonsa. And of course, Lucia S. Sobaldo, PhD. We are also recognizing top 9 for the October 2019 Fisheries Technologist Licensure Examination, the pride of Santa Barbara, 𝐷𝗀𝗚𝗏 P. Tineso. At this moment, lugar naman ipakilala sa ninyo ang mga kaapuhan kang mga badalihan kang revolusyon diya sa may panay. Dadal Clan, please rise to be recognized. Na mga kaapuhan kang mga revolusyonarios kang panay. The clan of Honorable Suriname, parapatan natin. Ang lugar natin, tulad ng aga, nag-aking ipapakilala sa ninyo, the direct descendant of Padre Praxides Magalon, kung sa rin ang aral, Magalon Sink, Kalbado sa Barbara, we have former SB member Paolo Magalona, Buangko. Amo ang pangit ng tiyempo ng revolusyon na na-assign niya sa Banwa ng Santa Barbara. So, ladies and gentlemen, ako mapasyadang kami natin ang historia ng kahiwayan yan sa Barbara. We will give you the Santa Barbara National Comprehensive High School Kahiwayan Dances. Barbara noon. Ladies and gentlemen, ang Santa Barbara Hymn, Bugal Kagpalangga ko, composed by former SP member Joe Mascolino Lucero and music by Ma'am Felicon Alcoriaga.
Sa kasaysayan, ikaw na kilala, itawag na kamo ng ipalaga. Sa siyenta ka barangay, isa ka patrona, singit sa kahiwayan na kumpisa. Santa Barbara, Santa Barbara, buwal ka palangga ng banwa. Hamili na bulit sa iyong kauswagan, ibahalag na sa kalumanan. Ang palangga ng banwa, hamili na bulit sa iyong kauswagan, ibahalag na sa kalumanan. Ikaw ang ako, itakanan makukyot sa pag-ibon sa banwa natin. Kalinungan, katawayan ang swagan, sinulo sa kabuong mo kahiwayan. Santa Barbara, Santa Barbara, buwal ka palangga ng banwa. Hamili na bulit sa iyong kauswagan, igahalag na sa kalumanan. Santa Barbara, Santa Barbara, buwal ka palangga ng banwa. Kalinungan, katawayan kauswagan, simbolo sa mabuo mo na kahiwayan.
Igataw kaninyo si former board member Debbie Sonsa. Ang ginalaybay na tinuluhan Kahiwayan Festival.
𝙬𝙤𝙀𝙀 Festival commemorates our great history by recalling the upheaval to bring freedom to our country. After a long subjugation, ruled harshly by the Spanish crown, there broke out a revolution by the people of the brown race. Here in Iloilo province, the town of Santa Barbara was the center of the whirlwind that ended the Spanish era. Named to head the rebel army was a teacher illustrator who graduated magna cum laude, Martin Teófilo Delgado. Like him, the other Ilonggos who spearheaded the revolution were men of wealth, all illustrious, willing to offer life and fortune. On the 28th of October 1898, the Spaniards were caught unaware by the simultaneous outbreak of the Philippine Revolution in the province of Iloilo, and leading the victorious action was General Martin Delgado. Within 2 weeks of fighting, most of the province became free. What remained in the hands of Spain was the besieged Iloilo City. Assured of final victory, the Ilonggo leaders convened here in Santa Barbara, convened for so important an event. They elected the officers of the regional government, who were all acclaimed with loud cheers by a huge crowd that was present. Roque A. Lopez, President. Vicente Franco, Vice President, came the moment most dramatic, the raising of the national flag. That was followed by a crying enthusiastic, the 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗧𝙁 Festival. The story of our liberty.
Thank you very much, Ating Palakpakan, former board member, and of course, the historian, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗧𝙁. On the spot, ngagpag natin. And of course, Colonel Ederlin is the Masters in National Security Administration, Philippine Army, Deputy Brigade Commander, 301st Infantry Brigade, Camp Adriano Hernandez, Dingle, Iloilo. And of course, with him is the 301st Infantry Brigade, 𝗕𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗧𝙁. And of course, ginakalipay ni Mayor Bernas Digital, Vice Mayor Jeffrey Sisombilia, ang inyong pagtambong kadya nga tuig kahiwapan kang Cry of Santa Barbara, and this is the 19th 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗧𝙁 Festival. I would like to invite everybody, our guest of honor, our military host, the governor, the congressman, and to our guests sa isa ka photo exhibit na ginatiguluhan mga kulay ng digmaan at the Centennial Museum. Again, we'd like to request our guests to proceed to the Centennial Museum for the opening of the photo exhibit.
May pag-out ka. Salamat.
Okay, yun lang